When Elliston Berry was just 14 years old, she made a horrifying discovery. A classmate had created and then shared a deepfake nude image of her that ended up getting passed around the entire school. It took 8 months of fighting until those images were finally taken down. And here's the thing, Elliston isn't alone. Do you know 1 in 8 teens have reported knowing someone targeted by a new deepfake? And this deepfake surge has been driven by the explosion of AI, artificial intelligence. And did you know this? Until recently, platforms like Elon Musk's Grok allowed users to upload and then undress pretty much anyone. Now, here's the good news. In the face of mounting backlash, the tech giants are trying to stop the spread of deepfakes, adding guardrails they say are going to stop users from being able to do this. But victims have been pushing for a legal solution to this deepfake epidemic, and that is led by Elliston herself. Last year, she partnered with Senator Ted Cruz to pass the Take It Down Act, which not only makes creating explicit deepfakes a crime, it requires online platforms to take down those images within 48 hours of receiving a formal notice. And Elliston stood proudly by President Trump as he signed that into law, and victims may get another boost from the Defiance Act, which would allow them to sue over explicit deepfakes. And none other than Paris Hilton was in Washington to push for the bill's passage. Take a look.
But victims deserve more than after-the-fact apologies. We deserve justice. Last week, the Senate passed Defiance by unanimous consent. Today, I stand here with Congresswomen Ocasio-Cortez and Lee, asking Congress to pass the Defiance Act through the House. Let's finally make it law.
And here's what's remarkable. Even after getting a law passed, Elliston isn't done fighting for victims like herself. She's created a training program to educate the public about the deepfake epidemic, which is another reason why I'm so excited to have her on our show tonight. Joining me now, Elliston Berry, her mother, Anna McAdams. You both are terrific. You both are heroes. Thank you so much for taking the time. Elliston, I'll start with you. I mean, what advice would you give to a young woman, a girl who is the target of a deepfake? What should they do? What steps should they take?
Well, I initially would just emphasize the fact that this is not their fault. I mean, the feelings that you may feel of isolation, embarrassment, and even being ashamed, that does not define you. I would really encourage them to file a police report. The Take It Down Act makes the publication and the creation of these AI non-consensual deepfakes a felony. So filing a police report is the first step into getting justice. I mean, it's jail time as well as it's holding big tech accountable for taking down all images within 48 hours. I would just let them know that the resources are in their hands.
And these new resources are because of you. I mean, Anna, what was your reaction when you discovered what happened with your daughter's image that had been used in deepfakes? Because unfortunately, parents are going to be encountering this across the country.
Well, I was in complete shock. First of all, this was not something that I ever saw coming and didn't really know a lot about AI at the time. So as a parent, you kind of look forward to, kind of walking with your child through everything and already knowing I've kind of already been there, I've already done that. And this was something that, we had never, ever experienced before. So when we got there and this happened to her, we were completely shocked that there was nothing there to help protect her. There was nothing there for us to do. So we really felt like at that point, well, if the school's not going to do anything, if local police can't do anything either, then we've got to do something. And that's where we decided we were going to step up to try to make a change.
And that's the point, right? No one could have predicted this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But now you have this, Elliston. You have the passage of the Takedown Act. You have created this program, this training program. Have you seen it deter deepfake creation, dissemination? Have you seen it have an impact already?
I definitely think that it has helped raise awareness. I mean, that's one of our goals. I mean, if people understand what we're dealing with, there will hopefully be a little bit more and faster repercussions. But I mean, with it advancing and AI advancing so much, it's really hard to grasp it in a way we're able to have total control. We definitely are taking the steps into the right direction, but I definitely think that there's a lot more that we can possibly do. And if we maybe do some more research and figure out some more things we're able to control, that would definitely help. But it's definitely a step in the right direction.
By the way, Anna, what was it like for that to be signed into law by the president?
Oh, it was just an answer to prayer. That's all I can say. It was just one more level that I felt like for the first time, first of all, somebody heard us, because for so long we felt like we had no voice in this. People didn't really take us serious and didn't think that this was a real issue. And so to me, that signing said, this is a real issue. This is something everyone really needs to pay attention to, and everybody needs to be aware of it so that we can protect our kids.
And it's bipartisan. Everybody should be on the same page with this. You know, Elliston, I talked about the Defiance Act. That hasn't been passed yet. It would obviously be another tool. It goes to the money, right? The money talks. So if you're talking about lawsuits here, can you tell us about how effective that will be and what the likelihood that's going to pass?
I definitely think that Congress and this current state of the government has definitely helped, especially in our situation. I definitely think that there's a high chance that the Defiance Act will eventually pass. I mean, it's an extra layer of protection, and it gives victims an extra kind of layer of protection, like I had said, especially in the civil suit. So I definitely think it's super important, especially with a voice like Paris Hilton encouraging it. I think we definitely need to emphasize and encourage people with a lot of voices and that have a big audience to really share and spread awareness. I think that's definitely how we're going to have a little bit more control on this.
No, 100%. That is also one of the reasons that I wanted you both on here. First of all, to meet both of you, because remarkable. I think you are helping a ton of people across this country. I think this is only the start. I'm wishing you the best of luck in your continued training program. I hope the Defiance Act does get passed. But really, thank you both so much for the work that you've been doing. Elliston Berry, Anna McAdams, you both are terrific, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.